Hello and welcome, my lovely Taurus. I am the Queen of Clovers and welcome to my channel. This is a general reading for Taurus. It is a new spread. It can be for anyone, anybody, or nobody. It may, as with all tarot readings, please take what's yours and leave out all the rest. If you're enamored by my reading, please like, subscribe, share, comment, tip or donate if the spirit moves you, but let's get to it. It's a new spread I'm working on, Taurus. I know you're working very hard and you're like, Taurus is just working hard. I feel like Taurus really captured the Virgo season the hardest in terms of like mastering something, like you've been working on something and now you're mastering something. The highlight of your read is the Strength card. Taming the lion, definitely taming the lion. The most difficult part is over, Spirit is telling me. At the center of your reading, though, I have the Chariot in reverse. You may have come to a bit of a standstill or an impasse that you're having trouble getting over. Eight of Coins, it's going to be a Virgo season thing. Remember I said you took this Virgo season seriously? Well, yeah, there it is, the card of Virgo season. But it's also the card of mastery, the card of details, the card of really taking your time to perfect something. And that's what tells me that you're right there, right now, in the midst of it. But sometimes these learning periods and these discovery periods feel more like stagnancy. You know, when you're sitting around just reading books or just preparing or studying for something, it really loses some of its fervor sometime. But that's just because you're perfecting, and it's not a bad thing. It is that you have a deep fear that things aren't going to move, which unfortunately the two sides of your brain right now are things are never going to move, you're never going to take off, you're never going to get anywhere, you're never going to control anything or run anything, to I am absolutely the strongest person possible with the Strength card on top of it. So you're kind of working through, you're working through the idea that it's not going to happen. You're testing your own faith. Right now you're kind of blending in some things, especially when it comes to love, but you are blending in turn. You're just and that's okay. Part of blending in makes it easier for you to step back and study, says Spirit. You have a lot to think about because Taurus, you're going through something where it's like you know, it didn't turn out the way, you know, adulting didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to be. And it's like, you know, the wise person in the movie going, well, it never does. It's that realization. It's not what you thought it was. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's something you have to adjust to, and you are doing that now. It's taking, you're pulling back. So it kind of feels like your love life is absolutely dead. It's just something else you have to think about. There's nothing really catching your eye right now because you've uncovered a great mystery here, and you're going to keep digging deeper until you actually achieve it. There's a movement and a freeing that comes from this that is greater than being like Kim Kardashian, or nothing against Kim, or Jennifer Aniston, or even Marie Curie. You know, a big name in the world is not what you're out to get, but you might start pointing in that direction while you're so adamant about these sixes and how you want to move in your strongest possible way and light. But it's kind of weird because you're afraid that you'll never King of Wands it, you'll never be on top of it or in control of it. But, you know, at the same time, you're releasing that need to be on top of it and control it. So you're really bumping your head against your own head for that one. You're still going to do the work. It's very possible some of you Taurus, it's not very common that I pick up like a public life for a Taurus, and I'm talking about celebrity life or a known name kind of life for a Taurus, but here it is. It's coming out, and it's something that you're not even reaching for, so when it kind of happens, it's going to be a little stunning. In the back of your mind, you know it's 100% possible, but you've practically convinced yourself that it can't happen. I'm going to see what this Chariot in reverse is all about, because it just seems like a few things have stalled out. There's something to be studied here, to be learned. Oh yeah, the Dream in pause with the 8 of Wands. You need a new, you definitely need a new dream or a new goal, Taurus. It's going to come out of the advancements you're making in your current position, where you found, you know, I told you, it's things like you graduate from college and you go to your first job and you are out of your depth. It's your college taught you nothing, kind of thing, which of course happens for those of us with a college degree. I mean, we're going to tell you right now, experience versus college degree, the two shall not meet. It just doesn't work out that way. It's not how it's taught very often. It's better, but it's not great. And this is that I did the classes, I did whatever, or I prepared for this, and here I am, and you step into a role that just really isn't anything that you thought it was going to be or you're prepared for. I still think you like it though. There's something about it that you like it, but you need to expand it, you need to correct it. This is where you're going to go big in some way. You're going to come up with a solution. This is changing goals, but it's not really changing goals. It's like you really achieved something, and now you're moving forward with the next thing. The Knight of Swords in reverse. You're gonna, right now you're in study mode and it feels very paused. You're going to come out of that running in a way that people are going to be shocked at the things you know and how to defend yourself. Did somebody embarrass you on day one at this new job? If they did, they should be careful, because the next time you ask them a question, you are going to embarrass them. I'm even thinking the Nutty Professor, when he goes back to the comedy club. I'm talking about the one with Eddie Murphy. Boy, you know, that's one. But Taurus, you're totally in this energy of, I needed to adjust, so I'm adjusting. And then as soon as you step out of that adjustment period, you're going to come out with a whole new dream and a whole new life. Part of that whole new dream is letting go of the old one. I think that it was going to be the hardest part for you. When it comes to love, I have the 5 of Coins here, and you don't really care that you've been left out in the cold. There's something about this 5 of Coins that tells me that you are your own light. That also tells me that you know, Taurus and earth signs are inherently warming, and she's got a blanket around her. And then there's just something about this card that's just like, you think you left me out in the cold, but I'm doing just fine, buddy. I got things I'm working on. Yeah, your difficulty is, did I misplace my energy last time, and am I misplacing my energy now? You're just a little hesitant on this passion in terms of, I made a goal before, I've achieved it, I've had to adjust, and I need to make another goal. You're kind of feeling that energy of, is this going to be a repeater thing? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I can tell you that day one it is. Especially for Taurus. I know you finish a lot of the things you start, which is excellent energy, but that means you also have to restart things. Aries is kind of worse, because sometimes we just let things fall away. We don't really finish everything we start. We want to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Strength card, and it comes out the 2 of Wands. Your strength is in your decision. You've made the decision to move forward and to get over whatever dissatisfaction or disappointment you've had. This is just throwing yourself 100% into work, into the fall season. You know how people are like, oh, I just always need a vacation. I could use a vacation. You know those people? Right now you're like, when I go to work, or when I go do this thing, whatever it is, it takes you away, Taurus. And it's a little bit fanciful, as in like, Calgon, take me away. Or you feel like you're on a vacation, or you're just running around with, you're just running around in a whole new world. It is a whole like world switch. This is like you've moved on from assistant to actual like designer or something. And you finally get to go check out, you know, the designer bathrooms or the designer, you know, sewing rooms. You have new levels of access, and you're beginning to understand a whole new life. And I'm going to tell you right now, the dark parts, I mean, it's that fear of success. It's that fear of failure. It's like you're going to run into an obstacle that will make things very difficult to overcome, and then you'll give up. You're not going to do that here, because there's some kind of act of, because you took on this career, this situation, whatever, and then you find that problem that you're going to fix that might give you a sense of fame and quite a level of financial success at least. It's going to be bigger than you could have ever dreamed, and that's going to be a calling. So don't fret about this not seeming like a super passionate thing, and the disappointment of getting somewhere and not liking it that much. But there's some way for you to take this knowledge and this information and these skills and kind of put them into a new path, you know, a crack that needs fixing, that needs filling, a gap in the system, and you're going to take an opportunity to use that. Yeah, look for the gap in the system, because that is your place. That's where you're going to fill that space, and it's not just a gap in your system, it's a gap in like billions of systems. So expect a lot of people are going to want. How did you fill that gap? Well, this Taurus here, that's what people are going to say. All right, thank you, Taurus, for sharing your energy with me. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, tip, or donate if you've been enamored by my readings. And have a great week. See you next week, my lovely Taurus.